Yep, I'm here.
Okay, we're
Oh,
live.
there it
Here we
goes.
go. Hey, everybody. It's Lori from Real Cinema Therapy and Jen the teacher. Sorry, we're a little bit late. We had a little bit of trouble getting the stream going, but
Hey,
we're on
everybody.
now.
Yay, we're here, everybody. Hello, hello,
We're
hello.
here. Hi, Samuel. Hi, cool nerd Rupert.
Yes.
How you doing tonight? Uh, it's exciting. I hope people got the alert, that I was having this dream. I don't know. I didn't get the alert until now, which is strange.
The
So
notification, right?
the notification, yeah. So like you were saying, YouTube is a little wonky, or StreamYard is a little wonky sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, hopefully more people will come on. They'll get the alert. So how is everybody doing with the storm? I hope you guys, weathered the storm well.
Right.
Jen and I were talking about it. I'm in the city. I'm in Brooklyn, so I didn't get that much snow. I got we have between 8 inches and a foot here, which is really nothing. I know upstate people got it really bad, and Jen, you said you got like about
18 inches.
3 feet.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, about 18 inches is like what fell, but then when the snow plow comes and like plows in your driveway, there was a good 3 feet just to get out of the driveway. Like at that
Wow.
very end, I was like, wow, it was almost the size of my daughter.
And then your husband was shoveling the snow for you, right?
Oh,
Or are you doing
absolutely.
it together?
Well, I went out and I helped a little bit to clear off the cars, but then my two oldest ones did it all while I came inside to cook. So he took care of most of the heavy lifting.
Oh, that's good.
I got lucky. I got lucky this time around.
Yeah, I mean, shoveling snow is not my favorite thing to do, that's for
No,
sure.
not at all.
Hi, Kimberly, welcome. Okay, so I guess we're going to get started now. So we're going to reviewing Coldwater episode 3, and we already had seen it, but we weren't able to finish it last week, so we're going to review it tonight. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Okay, so we're starting with John. He's pitching a tent. So there's something going on. He's having a hard time putting this tent in the ground. His kid is annoying him. The kid wants to play in the tent, and John's like, "No, go do your chores because we have somewhere to go." And John said something about we have friends from London coming up. They're actually Fiona's friends, and John wasn't too happy about it. He said, "Oh, these people from London, like he was showing he was upset, like he didn't really want to see these people." But the kid is just playing around. The kid gives him a hard time all the time. And Tommy is watching them. He sees that John is busy putting this tent up. We see John and Fiona. We see John and Fiona in the car, and they're on their way to church. And then we see Rebecca. She's writing some notes down. And she also saw them leave. And she's just leaving these little love notes for Tommy because she knows Tommy's, having these terrible urges again. It says, "You are on a good path." And then she comes up and she kisses him and she says, "How are you doing?" He said, "I'm okay." And she says, "Okay, because we're getting ready to go to church now." She says, "I love you," all these things, trying to make him feel better. So they're having a nice moment here. And then he goes to the shed. He wants to take a look at the... she said to him, "Let me ask you, Tommy, did you take anything from Angus?" And Tommy says, I did. So they went to the shed, and Tommy goes and he can't find it. He opens up the box and it's not there. Um, I'm sorry, one second. For some reason, some of these images are not coming up. Maybe I had to reload it. I don't know. But okay. So he doesn't see the crucifix in there. And Rebecca's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to it? Where is it? So let me just stop this for a second. I just want to reload the pictures for a second. Jen, hi.
I'm here. It's okay.
I don't know. We're having some technical difficulties here. One second.
I thought it was strange that, like, not strange, but I felt it very, like, I don't know, I thought you would relate. Like, she's setting up all these like little notes to try to remind him of the good that he is, because I feel like she sees like this evilness, the monster inside of him creeping out. So I
Yeah.
think it's cute that she's trying to find little ways to try to bring him back into whatever happy mode that he's had in his mind to contain and control his monster. Um,
Yes.
so I did like it, but if you see his face, he's like, "What the hell? Oh God." Ah, fine. I guess I should be grateful she's doing this to me. But you kind of see with his facial expressions how he kind of just goes through these motions. It's not the first time that she's tried to help him, like, contain whatever it is that he's, that's making him this way, that monster inside.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has these tendencies and she knows it. And what I'm wondering is how long has this been going on, right?
Right.
Because we don't know if he had stopped doing it for a while and then he started again. And I tend to think that is what happened. I
I
think
do
there was a
too.
long break, and that's why she was kind of alarmed to see that he's this is happening again.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just going to reload this. One second. I want to make sure everything is updated here. Give me a second.
I felt like the beginning of this episode, there was like a lot of self-reflecting. We didn't hear anything, but you could just see the way the camera stays on the each character for the prolonged amount of time, just that little extra, so you can see their facial expressions. I think the show does a phenomenal job. These actors are doing wonderful with just being able to read these different facial expressions, really getting into the role. And I really liked in the beginning, you could tell things are shifting, something is going on, everybody's kind of aware that something is not right, and everybody's kind of reflecting on either their own behaviors, their own guilt, or just their participation on how to move forward.
Right, exactly. Their facial expressions really say everything.
Yeah, they make the show. You really get a really good sense of what's going on, and it helps you to relate too, right? Because of course, when we watch these shows, we put ourselves into these positions, or maybe we think about how the hell did somebody even actually get into this position. So I think it does a really good job of just captivating everybody with all of those emotions. You see like the anger, the rage, the guilt, the inquisitivity, the, like, just them being so kind of aware without saying anything of just this tension and pressure that's building in the air.
Absolutely. But you have to wonder why she would stay with him.
Yeah. I mean, when the way she kisses him and then she's like so still in love with him, and it's just very creepy. I was rewatching the episode on Saturday in our live watch party, and I thought, I'm like, it's like watching these women that write to prisoners that fall in love with prisoners that they know
Yes.
are killers.
Yes.
I'm like,
Right.
I have that vibe from her now, right? From Rebecca. She just has this living a double life, and you can definitely tell that she loves the bad boy role in him, even though it scares her.
Yeah. I mean, we saw we see in this episode that they start kissing and everything right there. In
Right.
a way, she's turned on by it, I think,
Right.
in some really creepy way.
Yeah, it's actually really creepy because the power of love, and if God is love, and they have this whole religious aspect that they have in the show, being that she's a vicar. So you have this power of love, but at the same breath, like, what would you do for love? What if it meant, like, killing and or keeping a killer's secrets, watching them kill over and over again because you love them so much. That's like a
Right.
whole other meaning to like, ride or die, stay with your partner, I love you to life. Like that's kind of crazy, but that's exactly I think what we're watching unfold here in
Hmm.
episode A.
Right. I like what Kimberly said. Kimberly said, I don't think she's innocent. I think she's an accomplice.
I
And I agree
100%
100%.
agree.
Yes. I think
Absolutely.
she wishes she could be like him.
Yes. I think there's some kind of an intrigue that she has to it. Especially if she does this whole religious thing over and over again. I'm sure there's got to be this kind of complex that she's carrying with her that, it's to be able to take somebody's life, to murder, to be able to have those, to switch those feelings on and off. I definitely feel like she's just watching everything and observing, almost like she's taking notes and wishes it was her. I agree.
Yeah, I think she wishes she had the killer instinct
Yes,
to actually kill someone. And I think when he actually does it, he's like the bad boy, right? You're a bad boy, look what you did, but at the same time, she likes it.
exactly.
It's a really
Exactly.
screwed up relationship. Meantime, they have kids, right? I mean,
Yes.
how do they raise their kids with this dynamic going on?
I don't know. Hey, Dieter, by the way, I have no idea because clearly one of their children, which we learn in this episode, Margaret, the adopted daughter, that she left. She hasn't been in the house for 10 years.
That's right.
Um, so that kind of like begs the question, what the hell did she do to leave or why did she leave? And clearly there's a tension between her and her stuff. But I like Nerd Rupert said. He said it's a relationship contrast. Tommy has the loving no matter what wife, and John has the wife that's waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I agree. You definitely see the contrast in the two the marriages, right? The two separate marriages. You can see the contrast in the wives.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
'Cause I
mean,
definitely don't yeah, I definitely don't think Fiona would be willing to accept whatever John did. I think she would throw him in
no.
the bus in a heartbeat, where Fiona's like, "We always make it through, we will get through this, we can keep secrets, we'll bury bodies, we can get through this."
Yeah, the thing is, Rebecca is like a housewife. She doesn't work. I mean, well, she's the vicar in the church, right? I guess she does she get a salary? Maybe. But I get the sense that he's the breadwinner, Tommy.
Right.
And she's kind of dependent on him, I think, in that way. And also, she's emotionally connected to him. And I think Fiona's the opposite. She's very independent. She's the breadwinner. She expects John to do a lot of things because he's not working. So she's really harder on John. She wants him to grow up, while I think Rebecca wants to keep Tommy a little boy.
Yeah, absolutely, and that actually does go to what their jobs are. That would make sense a lot. You know, Rebecca wanting to make Tommy like a little boy because she's always home, so she'd want him to like be home and just stay there with her. And
Mhm.
Fiona's out and about, and she needs somebody that's independent that can, kind of match that energy for being out and about and handling other things and having multiple roles in life.
Exactly. Oh, hi, Dieter, and hi, Mike. Thanks for coming, guys. Dieter, I had made Dieter a mod, but I don't think it went through. Um, yeah, Dieter, I'm still going to work on that. I don't know why it didn't take. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm just refreshing these images. Hopefully, we'll be okay. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, let's see. Oh, I don't think they all went through. Oh, gee. Okay. So you know what we're going to do, Jen? I'm going to go back to, let's see. Huh, this is so strange tonight. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. It's very weird. Is there a full moon?
I feel
maybe
like
it's,
every day.
maybe there's a snowstorm. The snowstorm did it. I mean, there's something wrong. Um, are you able to show them in yours, Jen? Could you do
Let's
it? Because,
see.
yeah. Sorry about this, guys. I had the images loaded up, but something happened, and I had to restart, and I guess the images didn't all copy the way they were supposed to. So just give us a minute. Let's see. Let me read the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yes. Let's see. So Cool Nerd Rupert said, I think Tommy's wife respects him. Let me put this on the screen. I think Tommy's wife respects him. John's wife lost respect for him. Did they clarify when she cheated, before or after he fled the park? She cheated before the park incident because, we got the impression that the person that she cheated with was married, and that he's now divorcing his wife. They're getting divorced. So I believe this happened before the park, because the park was only like 3 months ago. So, yeah, so that's the issue with him. Fiona's angry with him. She's angry that he cheated on her. I'm sorry, excuse me. He's angry that she cheated on him, and he can't forgive her for that. And she can't forgive him for not being the husband that she wants him to be. She feels that John is not pulling his weight as a husband. She's upset. She's angry. So I think that's what's going on there. And they probably were having a lot of marital issues to begin with. So, hey, Jen. So they were having a lot of marital issues. So I think that whoever this person was that she cheated with, it just made things worse for their marriage. Hey, Jen, are you able to show the photos?
Yeah, I think this will pop up and it'll work. Let me see.
Okay.
All right, we're somewhere. I can't see StreamYard. Can you guys see the pictures?
I don't see them yet. Okay, let me remove. Okay, now try doing it. Putting it on the stage. Okay, here we go. This is yours.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so can you back up a little bit? I think it starts with 2 of them. There's like 2 more pictures. Yeah, keep going. Okay, let's start with this. So Tommy's looking out the window. He sees that John is going to church with his wife, right? That's the next slide.
Right.
Right. So they're going to church, and Tommy,
they're going to the funeral, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. They're going to the funeral. The funeral is at the church, right? They're going to the funeral, and John was just trying to pitch his tent, and he was frustrated that he couldn't get the tent, in the ground. So now they're in their car. That's the next slide. And oh yeah, she's also looking at them out the window.
Right. She sees them out the window.
Right. Okay, and then the next slide. Okay, so there they are in the car, and they're fighting. They're always fighting. Okay, next slide.
You see her face. She's like so disappointed at him.
Yeah, she's really angry. So we see her writing notes, little love notes to Tommy.
Right.
Oh, let me take this off here. Okay. All right.
Right. She started to put the love notes all around.
Yep.
She puts it
even in the refrigerator.
Right. I think that when she sees it, like she puts this one right in front of him in the bathroom, but when he opens the fridge and sees like the second or third note, he kind of is like definitely swallowing it down that it's annoying. Like, look at his face right here. Like, she's so happy she's putting the note. He's like, oh God, we're here again. You can definitely see like just this disgruntled look on his face. I mean, like, seriously.
Yes.
Oh, I can get it to stay still. Oh, let me move it. It doesn't let me drag it over, but yeah. See, you are on a good path, and then you see his face in the background and just this angry, frowny face. You're on a good path. I'm like, you want to talk about contradictions looking in the mirror. That was just, I thought it was genius the way that the camera guy zoomed in on that.
I agree. I like that. I like that choice of camera angle. Yes.
Right. And you see his face.
Well, he's disturbed, you know. He's thinking about everything that happened, right? He's thinking about Angus. He's thinking about John, and he's concerned that they're going to catch him. I think that's what's on his mind.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that's what's on his mind. And you can just see she still has that same face even after she kisses him. And like the kiss, he had no affect towards that kiss at all. He's
No.
just stuck in his thought. Here he is getting it out of the fridge when he sees that note. Look at his face. He's like, what the why?
I mean, again, this is like he's very childlike. He's like a little boy. So she's
Right.
writing him these little notes to like make him feel better. It's like, oh, it's okay, honey. You know, you killed someone, but it's okay, you know.
Right.
Right.
You almost wonder, like, does he actually believe this? I know that's what she's trying to make these positive affirmations so that he can say them and repeat them over in his mind. And I feel like as he's reading it, he's already putting in all the negatives. You can just tell by his face, like, he is not reading them the way she intended them to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So this note says,
Oh, well, there it goes. I put it in a Zoom shot.
you are a great father and a perfect husband. Oh, wow.
Your
You wanna-
stepdaughter won't even come home, but you're a great father. Oh my
You
God.
set a great example for your children.
Jeez. You're a perfect husband, but I tiptoe and walk on eggshells around you. And then look, then now he starts to put on that face.
Yes. Well, now she's finally making him feel better, right? He's like, okay, maybe it's not so bad what I did.
Yeah, and that face that smile that he shines over at her, she almost like believes it. Like, all right, he's feeling good, he's happy, so hopefully he's starting to like buy in, right?
Right.
There's the I love you.
No, he's
So,
smiling. It's
yeah,
working.
it's working. The I love you got him. It's fallen into place, and she's like really trying to hold his hand and have a conversation with him and just really like see what's going on with him, right? And try to make sure she can kind of break through.
Right.
And he kisses her hand, like trying to convince her that he's buying into it all.
Mm-hmm. And now she's like, hey, by the way, did you take anything?
Right. So by that question, like Kimberly said, that just makes her complicit. She completely understands and knows what's going on. She knows
Yes.
about his little trophy box. She is aware that he is definitely a serial killer at this point. Or at least we all are aware that she knows.
Yes, absolutely.
And he gets, he has she tells him about the cross and he tells her where it is. And he's looking for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to show it to her. He's going to say, yeah, this is what I took.
Right. And she's like standing outside the shed, almost like she doesn't even want to go into that shed and be a part of it.
Exactly. She looks, in a way, she looks disgusted if you see the look on her face here,
face. Yeah, look at her.
She's like, ugh, I can't believe you keep things and that you're doing this, right?
Right. It's almost like she's forced to live two lives, like to accept this that she can't stand, but she loves him so much, so she has to deal with it.
Well, she's choosing to deal with it. Yeah. So she's kind of like separating it out. Like, I hate that he does it, but I love him. But yet it turns her on at the same time. So go figure.
Right. Like the way it's like she has her mouth puckered forward. I'm just like, she is so upset right now with this whole situation.
I think she's angry that he took something. I think that's what she's angry about.
Right.
She's probably not angry that he killed him.
No.
She's angry that he took something.
So now here's that trophy box, and you see that there's a couple different items in there.
He's got a few things in there. Yeah, past murders. Yeah.
Right. At least one. There's a bracelet. Looks like there's maybe another ring, another bracelet, an earring.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you got maybe two bracelets, and then there's something also back here. So at least 4 or 5 bodies are attached to this box from looking at it.
You're right. There's a connection here. He takes jewelry, I notice, and we're going to see later on. He also takes jewelry of something else. So yeah, he does take jewelry. He doesn't really take anything else. It's interesting.
right? And they're trying to find out where it is now, right? And you see the anxiety in his face, like the way he kind of just starts looking up. He's just like trying to explain where it could be and figure out
Mhm.
who could have it, right?
Right, right.
So, and he's talking, and she's like, "Shh," because Cameron's in the house. She thinks, right? She doesn't
Yeah,
want anyone to hear
right. They don't know that
that he's left already.
yeah, that he left, that he found it and he left.
Right.
But this part's funny though. She says so she goes, maybe Cameron took it. And Tommy says, well, how could that be? It was locked. She says, well, what is your combination? It turns out it's it's
It's
Cameron's
Cameron's
birthday.
birthday. Right?
It's
She's trying to
Cameron's
console
birthday.
him, and she tells him that, and she gets so pissed off when she says that. She's like, "How stupid can you be?" Is like really her attitude towards it.
Yeah,
Like of
yeah.
all things, his birthday really, and you see him on the like here. He's like really starting to search around on the floor, like where did it go?
Yes.
Um, I think this is like where some real fear sets in for him.
Oh yeah. He's terrified right now.
Right,
I
like
mean,
he's literally on the floor.
he's on his hands and knees trying to find it. And he's looking up. He went back in. He's thinking maybe he dropped it somewhere else, right?
Right.
I mean, because this is the proof. This is the proof that this guy was murdered, obviously.
Exactly.
And that's why Rebecca's pissed off, because now they have to worry about he took something, right?
Right.
Okay, so he's looking everywhere and he can't find it.
Look at that.
His
That's
face.
real fair.
And then Rebecca tells him that Cameron is not in the house.
Right. And he's almost like, what? Right? There she is telling him from the window, from Cameron's window, which we've seen Cameron watch out of that window before, looking at his father coming in out of that shed.
Right.
And she's pissed off, and they're like, let's go, because she's going to be late, right? Because they're on their way to the funeral.
Oh, she asked him, are you good to go? Are you okay? Oh, that's another thing we missed. I'm sorry. Let me just repeat it. One of the reasons why I think she put the notes to that particular day is because they were going to the funeral, and she wanted him to feel better about it. Because if he was depressed and down, how would he be able to go to the funeral?
Oh, that's a great observation.
Yeah, and she's the vicar, so she must be there. So I think that's why she did it.
Oh, that's a good observation. I didn't even think about that. I was more on the wavelength of she's like trying to rein him back in. But yeah, definitely double-sided right there, because she's got to play this whole vicar role. And she's trying to make sure that it goes smooth once they're in public. Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so here we have Fiona, which we know they already left ahead of them, right? So Fiona and John walk into the funeral home.
Right.
Or into the church, I should say, not the funeral home, the church.
Right. Church, right.
And who happens to sit right in front of them? Look at that look right there. He's like, shit, why is she here? And they're like, I know who you are. Right?
Yeah, and look at the look that Fiona's giving her.
Right.
She's like, you want my husband. You can't have my husband.
And then he looks up at her. Look at the look Fiona gives her. I think he even tries to hold her hand, and she like pulls her hand away from her. Like,
yeah,
don't touch me.
She does. Yeah, she pulls her hand away. Yeah.
Look, that lie, that slide eye. Every married couple knows that is not a good look. If you get that look from your wife, you are fucked. That is not a good look.
Yes, that's right. That's it.
I do give her credit, though. She definitely tries to save face and just go about things without causing a scene.
She does. Yeah. Yeah, she does. So now the service start. Oh, no, this is, yeah. So here we have Tommy's cronies from the Bible group hanging out.
Right.
And they're talking to somebody.
Right. That's Angus's father.
That's Angus's father, right? They're talking to him. And then they walk over to John and they ask John. The guy says, hey, I threw out my back. Would you mind being a pallbearer? Right. And he introduces John to Angus's father.
Yes.
And John's like, yeah, of course, no problem. I'll I'll help you out. No problem. Anytime John is like, God, I wish I stayed home. All
Yeah, right.
right.
That's the look. And even Fiona's like, you want him to do what? So like he barely knew this kid. You're gonna let him carry his coffin? And
Right.
John's like, excuse me, and he's really like stuck under pressure here to say yes,
Right.
especially with all the guilt and who's there.
Right.
Yeah. I thought that was a hilarious moment. And then here is this snake in the grass coming over to the father. Just
Oh, I'm
there.
so sorry. What's his name again? Angus's father. I forgot his name.
Amos. Is it an Amos? Amos and
No,
Angus.
no, it's not Amos. I forgot his name. But anyway, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And Tommy gives him a big hug like he's his best friend.
Right. And then Tommy sits right next to him, which I thought was weird.
Why?
Because well, not weird. Like in the other church service, they had nothing to do with each other because I know that was actual church service. But here I felt like it was weird that he didn't sit with his other like church like Bible friends, like the other church group guys. He sat next to him almost as like a control to make sure he like keeps his shit together. Like, let me sit next
Yes.
to you,
Yes.
as a controlling factor because he definitely could have sat with the other guys. There was other chairs there. He chose to sit next to John, and he
Yes.
has this very stone cold like stoic face on, right? That he's just
Mhm.
you just no doesn't even really look at John, but just his presence being there and him trying to act very manly and strong, sitting next to him, trying to like give that role example, like just give off that vibe so that John can pick up on it and like follow suit.
Yes, I agree with you. He's wants to make sure John doesn't, cave. That John stays strong.
Right.
Now, I like what Kelly said. Nathan, thank you. That's his name, Nathan.
Nathan, thank you. I don't know where I got Amos from.
Let's check in with the chat for a moment. Let's see if we missed anything. So Dieter said hello. Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike is here. Okay. Kelly said he doesn't want to be on a good path right now. That's about Tommy, right? And then, oh yeah, it's a common trophy, meaning like jewelry or neckwear. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay. So let's go on.
All right, we see the vicar giving her little speech, and everybody is singing. And you can I like this view here. You kind of got an angle of almost everybody that's really like the top characters really going on right now. You see,
Yeah, and the therapist is. I think this is so funny because, I'll point it out in the next slide. So we see that Nathan is sitting next to the therapist, right?
Right.
And Nathan, of course, is, and then John's looking over now. And we see, next slide, we see Angus sitting there.
Right. He's starting to have those flashbacks.
He's having PTSD. He's having a traumatic response, and the therapist is sitting next to Angus. I thought that was cool the way they tied that in there.
That is cool. So he's not even like seeing Nathan. He's just saying, and look at his face, the fear, and he's just terrified at this point. He still cannot grapple and cope with what he's done.
No, he can't.
Yep.
And he's smiling at him. and he's remembering the whole thing. Yeah. And Tommy's singing like nothing. Like nothing's wrong.
And he's looking back and forth, thinking, is this real? What am I seeing right now?
Yeah.
It's got to be surreal what he's living through right now. Wishing it was like not real.
Yeah. See, now we see that seat is completely empty, which is strange. Oh, because he gets up to speak. That's why.
Right.
Nathan gets up to speak right now. So, so the next slide, Nathan is talking about his son and I like that he said he was just a wee boy when he was talking about something about his childhood. Oh, okay. We don't have
Like,
that
this
part. But
is stuff?
anyway,
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I had it.
that's okay. No, no, no. That's fine. Nathan gets up to give a eulogy about his son.
And this is
And
this is his reaction when he hears him talking.
yes, yeah. John's looking down. John is just completely out of it. John is terrified.
Right.
But Nathan is just basically, the way Nathan was speaking was, he was my boy, and he talked about his childhood a little bit. And he humanized Angus. Now we know Angus was a horrible person. We know that. But look, this is the parent, right? This is my
Right.
kid. So
And
you could feel
he's
you
got to
feel for
relate.
Nathan.
Yes, and he John's got to relate because he's a father himself, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's why John feels horrified. He's thinking to himself, if I lost my child, how would I feel? Right? It's
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what John's going through right now. Okay, so next slide. They're outside and they're carrying the coffin.
Right.
And there's John in the front carrying the coffin.
Right in the front, looking right down
In the
the line.
front.
Right. And again, look at the contrast between these two faces. Like nothing is wrong. He looks determined but worried at the same time.
Yeah, John looks like he just wants to be out of there. Like he can't wait to get the hell out of there. And I think the next shot is a close up of his face. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, he looks like he cannot wait to get out of there. And Tommy's just like whatever. Tommy doesn't care at all.
Right.
Now afterwards they're talking and John says, you didn't tell me that he had a family, that he had a father, right? Like John was really upset because Tommy had told John that Angus had nobody. Right? So this is what threw John.
Because when he was trying to get him to just accept the fact that he was dead and it was not a big deal, he definitely tried to make it sound like English was a nobody with nothing.
That's right.
Right. And now that he sees his father, John kind of feels played, like he kind of lied to me. And look at the grief and the anger, and he looks like he just wants to break down and cry right now.
Yes, he does. Yes. And now we see that Tommy is smoking a cigarette.
Right.
And John starts smoking with him.
Right.
This reminds me of like two kids in the schoolyard, right?
Yes.
Like two kids in the schoolyard having a smoke, right?
That's exactly what it is. Exactly. They're like kind of huddled off the side, hoping no one sees them. They're both
yeah. But I when I saw this, I said, wait a minute, John doesn't smoke. So this guy Tommy is a bad influence on him in so many ways.
In so many ways. And they haven't even been hanging out that long, but immediately he already started smoking and now he's drinking whiskey.
Yes.
Right?
And he went hunting.
Right. And you can just see, like, this is where he's, like, just really thinking about the whole manipulation. And I think he's, like, starting to get suckered back in by Tommy as Tommy tries to smooth it over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. And there they are outside. And then this awkward moment.
Yeah, so we have Katrina speaking with Fiona.
Right.
And John comes in and he sees it. He's like, oh no, I better get over there real quick.
Yeah, look at his face. He's like, oh shit. Oh my God, what is she going to say? He almost doesn't know what to do. So he goes racing over and tries to kiss Fiona. And she's like,
get away.
Right. She's like, what are you doing? Like, you don't ever kiss me like that, number one.
Right.
And it was very awkward that he was definitely trying to show, which made him look even more guilty, right? It's like he's doing actions that he's not normally used to doing. So
right.
She's like, what? Like, makes you even more suspect.
Right. Exactly.
Look at her face.
As she's looking at Katrina the whole time.
Right. So at this point, she doesn't really know anything, but she knows something.
Mm-hmm.
And Katrina looks guilty, but trying not to look at her. She doesn't know what to say because she definitely feels that awkward vibe and moment between them.
Yes.
All right. And
And
he
now she's looking at John to see what his reaction is to seeing Katrina.
I mean, look at the anger. Like, that is just perfect. She's looking at her like, if you say one bad thing or just say the wrong thing, like, you can tell she's just gonna hit him. Like,
That's
she just
right.
looks so angry. Look at her face.
Yeah,
That
she's so
is a
angry.
Game of Thrones look right there, like with daggers.
Yes.
That is a Game of
Yes.
Thrones
Well,
look.
she was in Games of Thrones. You know
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So now Katrina's smiling at John. They're talking, and of course Fiona must be fuming, right? Seeing
right.
them smiling at each other.
And
Um,
she's very inquisitive. She's like kind of looking like, what the hell do you have anything to say about anything right now to each other?
right, right. So then she walks away and she says, "Well, John." She excuses herself and she goes, "Okay, John." Oh, another thing. Katrina made a crack about her age.
Right.
She didn't mean it though. It came out, but it came out that way.
It came out
She,
that way.
yeah, because she was talking to her about they have like a swim, some kind of days where people swim in the pool,
Uh-huh.
and she goes, "Well, the older women go at this time or something." So
Right.
she was like giving her a dig a little bit. So
Right.
anyway, she gets angry, Fiona. She goes, "Okay, I'm going to leave. John, you stay with your little friend and talk." That's what she said, and she walks
Right.
away.
Oh,
And then John is furious.
right.
He says to Katrina, "Stay away from my wife." I mean, come on. What is she doing? She's not doing anything.
No, she's actually trying to smooth everything over. Look at the anger that he has towards her
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
He's angry at himself.
right.
And
Exactly. He's
he's
projecting it out.
directing it at her, but he's really angry at himself. Um,
Absolutely.
but I feel bad for her because she really, in this show, she's the ultimate victim, if you think
Right.
about it.
She
Which
really is.
So we'll get to that a little bit later, but yeah, she's the victim here,
Yeah,
not
but
John.
no. By the end of this episode, we definitely see that she really is the victim from all of
Yeah.
them, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Now
then,
here she's speaking to Rebecca,
right.
and Rebecca asked her, "Do you know where Cameron is?" And she said no. So she texts Cameron here to say, your mom's looking for you. Where are you?
Right. And here's the text between her and Cameron. She says, "Are you okay?" Is what she winds up texting to him. But you can kind of see just in the history, like, he's definitely trying, "Do you have any plans this weekend?" And she's just trying to like nicely and kindly blow him off. She feels that she's too old for him. But yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely,
because how old is he? He's still in high school?
I think he's 19 and she's 25. And I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
she's the same age as the sister, Margarine, somewhere around there. So if
Okay.
Margarine is, let's just say 26, that would mean that she left the house at 16,
Right.
right? And then that would mean that she is, what, 19 to 26? There's a 7-year difference. So what, Cameron was 9 years old when his sister left the house,
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
right? And now they're leaving. And they're arguing. And as they're arguing, they're leaving. You have Nathan staring and looking and watching John. And
Yep.
John catches that look. And he almost was not really realizing what that look was at that moment because he was shoving some food down his mouth that he had. But he kind of notices that look is a little too long and it's a little awkward. I guess I didn't get another one. He almost looks at him like, "Why are you looking at me like that?"
Right. Right.
And then
Oh, wait. We missed one part. Fiona says to him, "John, have you been smoking? I smell smoke on you." Like he's a little boy, and she's berating him.
Yes, but he
So
lies. He says,
he
"Tommy was
lies.
snooping around me."
Right. Right. So
Right.
basically, it goes to show that he doesn't. He doesn't. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Basically, Tommy's a bad influence on him. He doesn't smoke, right? Because she
Right.
said, or maybe he had smoked in the past.
Yeah, because he does pick it up quite quickly without like choking. So I do think it's a bad habit that he had. But
Yes.
he's definitely taking it back up now.
Yes, exactly.
And this is where we meet the sister, Margarine. It's Margarine.
Mora Jane.
Oh, Margine.
Right.
Did you
Now
find
she,
did you find anything awkward or just that stood out to you in this moment with her and the therapist?
oh yeah, I mean, I think the therapist is very good actually. The therapist sees what's going on. Mora Jane has a lot of trauma and she's repressed a lot of it because she wants to forget Coldwater. She wants to forget Tommy. She
Right.
left at what, 19 years old, and she's now in Glasgow and she has a job as a teacher. And the therapist said to her, I'm trying to remember the dialogue. Um, Therapist said something about when you talk about Tommy, your father, you call him Tommy. You don't call him Dad. And she says, why? Doesn't everybody do that? She said, no. She says, it's almost like you're distancing yourself from him. It's almost like you don't want to even admit that he's your father.
Right. And this is
So
her face and that as a response to that, because I think the therapist hit the nail right on the head.
absolutely. And she doesn't want to see it because if she actually admits it, then she's got to really see the trauma that she went through as a child.
Right.
And she kind of blocked it because it's too painful. How,
And
how do you how do you reconcile having a father who's so cold-blooded? And
right.
and again, we don't know what she witnessed. We don't know what actually happened to her, but we know that Tommy hurt her.
Right.
So by calling him Tommy, the therapist is right. Therapist is saying you are disowning him as your father. You're just calling him Tommy. It's her way of getting away from him.
Right.
But but then after the therapy session, and she denies it, by the way, she denies
Right.
it. Then
Yes.
she said, "Well, Tommy is very clever at times." Oh, the therapist said to her, "But he called you a crybaby." She says, "Well, Tommy could be very astute at times. I was a crybaby." So by her saying that, she's actually again not wanting to relive the trauma, taking on that responsibility on herself,
Right.
be
'Cause it's not her
blaming
fault.
herself that she is a crybaby instead of saying, no, I'm not a crybaby, he is a piece of shit. he did
Exactly.
he did something really traumatic, and I cried because of it, right?
Exactly. Definitely there's a wound there. And it kind of reminded me of the therapy session. Obviously, she's been with this therapist much longer, but it reminded me of the
No,
therapy
i don't
session.
think
Really?
I don't think so. I think this was a new therapist for her. I don't think she's been seeing her very long.
Well,
uh
I thought it reminded me of the therapy session with John, the way John was so like he didn't want to mention really anything to his therapist. Here, like
mhm.
you definitely see her hesitance, right? She definitely hesitates, doesn't want to admit anything really.
She's angry. Look at her face. She's angry. You are forcing me to see something I don't want to see.
Yes. That is a great observation. Absolutely.
She's very angry.
Then the scene cuts over to this crazy house, and we see Fiona and John's guests have arrived.
With their kids.
And you see the kids, look at them on the side here, all running around crazy.
Mhm.
And Fiona and the other two parents are all about it, and John is not really feeling it.
Mhm. John is still traumatized from everything.
Right,
This is the last thing John wanted that day. He did
right,
not want these people to come. He even told Fiona in the car. That was also mentioned. Fiona said to him, "John, I know we're having problems right now, but please be nice. My friends are here. Just try and be nice for the weekend." And he said, "Okay." So, he's just trying to get through the weekend, basically.
right. And that's kind of the deal that they made, right? Like, as long
Yes,
as I get through this weekend, and then we'll argue later, we'll bring this back up. Because definitely
right.
they're not in a good place right now. And they're definitely trying to put on a pretend play family life, and that they've just moved to this new house and they're having a great, wonderful time. And they're trying to project this out as this false image of where they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's John. He could just see he's just standing there by himself, wishing that the house was empty, honestly.
Absolutely. He can't deal with this.
No. And so what does he do? He starts drinking quite heavily.
Mm-hmm.
There he is looking, he's like, oh God, they're all yelling and screaming and running around the house. I mean, you would think that he'd be happy because everybody's, healthy and happy, having fun, but it's just irritating and annoying the shit out of him. And now he has to actually deal and be with them, right? Because they kind of called him out.
Yes. Yes. So there they are, the four of them having a toast, old friends getting together. Now, these are friends from London. These are Fiona's friends. And it's interesting what the dynamic here, because they both, I mean, they both came from England originally, but Fiona is very into her social life, who she socializes with. And John he just seems to be kind of a loner in a way, right?
Right.
He didn't have any friends back in London that we know about, right?
No.
We only know about her friends.
Well, we know that his best friend, that Mac guy, is the guy that she had the affair with. It was his best friend. And right now he has no friends because he is not talking to any of them.
That's right. So he really feels uncomfortable here. I mean,
Right.
Think about it. She had an affair. Everybody knows about it, right? He wanted to get away from these people. And here they're visiting them.
Right.
So there we go.
That's his MO, right? To run away and not have to deal or confront anything. And here these people are coming in and they know the intimate details of what's really going on.
Exactly. Right.
And you can just see, like you were saying about Fiona, look, that's like pure happiness. She is just living it up with her friends right now. She's happy that everything's pretend. They can't really tell that there's something not right with them.
Right.
You just see everybody's happy. Even the husband, I forget what their name is.
Now he actually says the news.
Right.
He says, "Oh, did you hear about what the guy's name was? What was his name? Matthew and so are getting divorced." And right away, you see Fiona's face drop and you see John's face drop. And then they're like, "Uh-oh, we know something is up. We don't know what it is." So then she walks out of the room and John gets very quiet.
Yep. And you can just see he is now thinking, this is exactly why I didn't want anybody to come by, because now I'm rethinking everything that had happened. I'm sure he was envisioning his wife sleeping with this other man, his best friend at that.
Right.
And he's left there like, I just put my foot in my mouth. Shit, I should have said anything. And there's an awkward moment between these two men.
Very awkward. Now I have a clip that I'm going to play of him destroying the stuffed animals.
Oh, that part is great.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next frame. Okay, so we see Fiona with her head down. She is mortified. Mortified. Right. Because first of all, she feels shame and embarrassment that she did cheat on John, and that it came up again, right? It's like they want to forget it. They were trying to move on from it. And here it is in their face again. So she's hysterical. John excuses himself. So I'm going to share this clip, guys, that I made. It's actually on YouTube. It's a short showing the next scene. So basically, John goes in another room. Do you want to stop it for a second?
Yeah,
you want to stop sharing?
Yep.
And I'm going to share my clip. I want to share the clip because
seated and buried inside of him for a long time in his subconscious mind. But through meeting Tommy, he's now starting to embrace it.
Okay, you can go back. So basically, okay.
All right. Am I back up?
Where are you? Yes. Okay. So basically in that clip, John is in a rage. Okay. This is a man who has been holding in his anger all this time. He has people, men coming up to him, provoking fights with him. We keep wondering, why is this happening to John? Why does he keep having people provoke fights with him? He is seething with anger. His wife cheated on him with his best friend. He has no outlet for it. He's not working. He's a stay-at-home dad. He feels inferior, and he's been burying his anger for a long time. Now, when this guy's name comes up again, this guy Matthew, he goes into a rage. That was a rage in that moment.
Right.
And he just tore that stuffed animal apart, and he just was ripping it and banging it on the couch. And at the same time he did that, he was picturing Angus.
Yes.
So we can see the rage that he feels inside of him.
Yeah, he just pummels this animal and he just rips it apart, and he just is seething at the mouth, literally fuming.
And let's talk about something symbolic here. And I know I'm really getting into some symbolism, but remember last live, we talked about how John would cuddle with the stuffed animals, right?
Right.
He saw the stuffed animals as a source of comfort for him. We saw him laying on the couch holding the stuffed dog, right? Here, he's destroying the stuffed animal.
It's almost like self-sabotaging your own comfort, because now what is he going to use to lay on when he's having a sad moment?
That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is he realizes he needs to grow up. He needs to accept where he's at. He needs to acknowledge his anger. He needs to acknowledge where he is in his life, his feeling of helplessness. So,
look at that.
In a sense, by destroying the animal, he's growing up. He's destroying that need to hold on to a security blanket. That's what it is.
And it almost, like you said, it's very resemblance of him attacking Angus and killing Angus.
Yes, exactly. That was the rage that he felt at that moment.
Yeah. And then you almost see for a minute when he realizes like all the stuffing of the stuffed animal is falling out, you see him have a moment right there where he kind of realizes what he's doing, like the rage fit that he's in, and it's almost this guilt that comes over because he's so angry and has no control, and he starts picking it all back up.
Right. like it never happened. He's trying to cover it up.
Yeah, like let me put all this back real quick. I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Right. Because how could he be angry like that? Right. That's not him. That's not who he is. Right.
No, right. He's supposed to just shove it all down.
He's repressing his anger. And what happens when you repress your anger, it comes out in a rage. This happens to everybody. If you don't acknowledge it, it comes out in a rage. And that's what happened to him. Okay, now we're back to Maura Jane.
Right.
And she's walking and she's talking to her friend on the phone. And she says, "Oh, I don't like that therapist. I'm going to probably stop seeing her." Yeah, because the therapist pushed her buttons. The therapist made her realize you need stuff. There's stuff there that you need to talk about. And she doesn't want to do that. So she wants to quit therapy. I thought that was interesting. So there's somebody following her. And she gets really nervous. She doesn't know who it is. She looks behind her. She sees somebody following her.
And she keeps looking back.
And now she attacks the person.
Right. She puts her keys between her fingers, right? And she turns around and like punch slashes at whoever's following her. We realize that there's the keys in between her, and she's like, "Oh shit," because it's her brother Cameron.
She got him. It's like, why does he do that? He could have just knocked on her door. "Hey, I'm here," right?
Yeah, why did he have to? I did the same thing. I'm like, why would you have like your hoodie on? Like you look so cringy. Like I would have turned around and hit you too. Like I don't know why you're following me and you're looking at that. If I were your brother, I would have been like, "Hey, Maura Jean, look around, turn around." And she's like, "What are you doing?" Like she looks at him, she's like, "What are you doing?"
Right. Let's just check in with the chat for a minute. Yeah. So do we? Kelly asked, "Do we know what age Maura Jean was adopted?" I don't think it was said what age she was adopted. Right?
No, yeah, I don't remember them saying that. I just remember them saying that it's been 10 years since she's left the house.
So she probably was very young when she was adopted, because I think she mentioned she was 6 or something, or 8. We'll get to that later when Tommy said something to her. So she was probably adopted at a maybe she was an infant. Who knows? And Shadow Skulk said, "I haven't watched this, but I wanted to stop by and show some support. All of our loves and happy wishes." Well, thank you, Shadow Skulk.
Thank you,
If
Shadow
you're
Skulk.
still here, I hope you're still watching. And if not, thank you for stopping by. It's a good show. You should watch it. It's a lot of fun. So okay, so Cameron is back in Maura Jane's house, and they're looking at old photographs and they're talking.
Do you get a sense when he's like looking at her diploma and he's looking at the picture of her and her job and sees her apartment, it almost gets a sense that like he's kind of envious that she got out, right? That she's
Yes.
able to escape them and he's
Yes.
still stuck at home.
Yeah, exactly.
And she cleans up his wound, and when she's cleaning up the wound, she's just like, "Hey, so why are you here?" And right, Cameron starts expressing that he has some concerns for what's going on. And as he's expressing his concerns, it jumps right back over to Rebecca and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
And even like this, you can see Tommy's trying to figure it out, and she's just looking at him like, "How could you do this?
Right.
It's a danger. What have you done now? Why? Why'd you have to put?"
Mm-hmm.
She's just in shock. They're trying to figure out where Cameron is.
Mm-hmm. And he's worried. Tommy's worried. He says, if Cameron took it, maybe they went to the police. That's what he said.
Right, because they're in Cameron's room right now, right? Going to try to go through his phone and his computer.
Yes.
Let's see. I took these shots because you can kind of see the way he talks to her, and you just see his demeanor, the way it changes, the way he's talking to her, and he thinks that if it's not Cameron, that she wants to know, how do you know it's not John, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says it's not John, but he's gonna go over there and find out from John what's going on, and they're already having dinner, and you can already.
Well, actually, let's wait. He wants to talk to Katrina, Tommy. Tommy said he wants to talk to Katrina because Katrina probably knows where Cameron is.
That's right.
And Rebecca says, "Well, I don't think that's a good idea." Because he says, "Don't worry, I won't hurt her." She says, "Well, I don't care. You could hurt her a little bit," she said. Could you believe that?
Yeah, I almost thought that. You could hurt her a little bit.
You can hurt her a little bit. That's okay. She said, "But I'm afraid it's going to escalate. It's going to go too far." So then he said, "Okay, I'll take John with me."
Right.
She says, "John has company. Why would John go with you?" And it was funny. He said, "Well, these people are from London, and John, their name is Pip and Jez." He said, "I'm sure John would rather be out with me than stay with Pip and Jez." He said something like that, right?
He does.
So he says, "I got John. John is in my soul," he said. Or I'm in his soul. Maybe he said, "I'm in his soul." So he feels he owns John.
Yes.
So he's going to go over there and ask John to go with him to find Cameron.
And so we see them all eating, and it's just, I like this shot because it kind of just shows that, like John just wishes he could push himself completely back out of that room.
Yes.
I think this is the part where they're talking about the hunting, right?
Yes, yes.
Or
Oh yeah, this was great. Uh,
they have all of their own opinions about how hunting is so wrong and how can people go hunting. And John's like, "Oh, I went hunting. I went hunting the other day."
and Fiona's like, "What?
Are you
You
talking
went
about?
hunting? What are you talking about?"
Right. Ooh, I think I'm missing some pictures here. Hold on one second. Because these they must not
No,
be
no, no. I think you're right. Basically, while they're speaking, Tommy. No, you were right.
okay.
While they're speaking, Tommy is going over to John's house, and they're showing the tent that the kids are sleeping outside in the tent.
Oh, that's right. And you actually see
Yeah,
Tommy walk
and you
right by
see
them.
Tommy walking right by them. So that's why John was pitching this tent in the beginning of the episode because he wants to, so the kids could sleep out there together. That's what he
Right.
was doing.
There's Tommy
So,
right there. You see his little bald head
yes.
walking right past the tent.
So there he is, and John's telling the story of the hunt, and
Right.
they're like, "What? You went hunting? Since when?" He said, "Well, I've been doing a lot of things since I've moved to Scotland. I'm drinking whiskey. I go hunting now." And they're like, "What? What's
And it
going
look,
on with you?"
Fiona's face is like, what?
she's she's
Fiona's
totally
like,
freaked
who
out.
are you? And look at his face. He's like, come on now. He's like, I don't know why this is shocking you. You can
Yeah,
just see like he's almost wanting to say, you do things that I had no clue you would ever do. So I do things that you might not have ever had a clue I would do.
right.
It
And
almost
and
feels very
then
tit for tat.
so then she starts telling them about Tommy. She says, "Tommy's a bad influence on you," she said, "You know what Tommy said to me?" And then we see Tommy coming in the house.
Right.
She said, "Tommy said to me, he asked me if you and I still make love, and he said I should buy sexy lingerie to keep you interested."
Yes.
And John's like, "Oh, come on, Fiona. He didn't mean it that way. He was probably joking." She says, "He wasn't joking. He meant it."
And the way
Meantime, their friends are like, "What?"
I
This
know.
couple.
But the way Fiona said it too is like such a grandstanding moment. Like she was like, "Yeah," and I've got like a jury here to prove that, like that, what you said, what he said was wrong. Like she's waiting for her London friends to totally jump on her bandwagon with her and like kind of look at him and John and be like, "Why would you hang out with this guy?" Clearly,
Right, right. so so basically I like what John says. John says, "Listen, Fiona, you're a privileged middle-aged lady, and you're not used to being around people like Tommy. Tommy is a real man." That's what he says.
yes.
So Fiona said to him, "Oh, really, John? So aren't you a real man? You wouldn't say that to anybody." So then John didn't know what to say. He just like kind of smiled at her. That's
Right.
when she
This is
said
like,
it to him. She said, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh yeah. So are you a real man?"
and look at how he
I,
looks back at her.
yeah. And
He
he's
looks
just,
back at her like with this anger and contempt in his face, but has to swallow it down yet again.
right. So then uh, Tommy hears this whole conversation. He hears what John says. He hears what Fiona says, and then he said, but he says, "But Tommy is a real man." So Tommy liked that. He
Right.
liked hearing John say that, but he didn't like when John said that Tommy is also very simple. He's a
Yeah.
simple person. These are simple people over here. They're not sophisticated like Londoners, right? So
Right.
Tommy did not like that part. And then when she was angry that he went hunting and didn't tell her, John said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I betrayed you. That must have really hurt you, didn't it?" Like he gave her a dig that's nothing compared to what she did to him.
Exactly. And at
Mhm.
this point, that's where they kind of realize that this is not exactly all that it seems to be,
Mhm.
right? The guests are kind of picking up on these vibes, and Tommy's still eavesdropping.
Yes.
Like right, you can see he's right there standing outside listening to what they're saying. And that is so awkward. That's talk about an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
conversation, and Fiona's just getting there. That's where Fiona like hears the dig, and look how she looks at him with her arms crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like she really can't say shit. She's the one that cheated. So I kind of find it crazy that she kind of takes this road with him like, all right, we've dealt with this, so get over it.
Right. Right. But we haven't dealt with it. And this is why John is so angry.
Right.
It hasn't been dealt with.
Right.
That's why he's drinking. That's why, that's why he destroyed the stuffed animal. He's in a rage.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's Tommy listening to all of it, and he's loving it. He's loving everything he hears. Because now he knows he is dividing them. He's
Right.
causing trouble in their marriage, and he likes it.
Get through some of these scenes. You see just so many of their facial expressions. You could just tell, without even watching, you could just see and read off of their faces that the argument are happening.
Oh, yeah.
Fiona's totally rallying up her friends on her side. It almost felt like she was like trying to almost gang up on him, and he just kind of like laughs it off. Still drinking.
Yeah, he's getting drunk. He's plastered.
Tommy's liking. I think that's where he says that he's a man.
Tommy's like a voyeur. He likes to watch things, from the shadows.
Yes.
Oh, and this part, when Tommy comes in the room, it's almost like he's like Freddy Krueger, the way they jump and scream when he comes in the room.
Yes.
I couldn't help but picture like Freddy Krueger.
I think I have some duplicate pictures.
Yeah, these pictures are wild. The facial expressions they all make, it tells the whole story. And look here, she screams. She screams.
She screams, right? She's the first one that sees him.
Yeah, and she screams. She lets out a scream. And there's Tommy standing there like he's Freddy Krueger.
Seriously.
It was just so funny. They went, oh, like this.
Right? And Fiona's like, what are you doing in my house? Even John is like, what the fuck? Especially because I think they know they were just talking about him. So how much did he hear, right?
Exactly. It's funny. And Tommy's like, okay, I'm here. And then he makes up a story that my son is missing. I need John to help me find my son.
Right.
So the friend from London says, oh, well, if your son is missing, maybe we all should help. So Fiona says, his son is 19 years old. He's not a child.
Exactly. And that's, even Jonathan even John stands up to him, and he's kind of like, well, yeah, he's not really a child. Like, what do you really want us to do to help you?
Yeah. Right? And then John's like, well, Tommy, this really isn't a very good time, he said. And then he says, but John, you owe me, he said. You owe me one.
Right.
And Fiona is furious. She tells Tommy, what are you doing? And, what are you doing here? Your child is not a child. He's 19.
Yeah, even that's exactly what John says. He's like, he's not really a kid. Not really a child. He's your child, but he's not of child age.
Right.
Right. And Tommy kind of puts on that face. That was a pretty good face. Like, he's still my child, John.
Right.
Look at that like disappointment. Like you just said I was the man, and now you don't want to come hang out with the man.
That's right.
Their body positions to him is just very on alert.
Yeah, they're afraid of him. Well, they heard all these weird stuff about him, right?
Right.
And then he just comes in unannounced while they're talking about him. I mean, that's pretty creepy.
Right. Even look at the way Fiona's looking at him. Like, she just cannot stand him at all. He's trying to just explain himself to her. He's like, but I was just missing my child. You should know.
And then he said, John, you owe me, he said.
Right. And that was John's face. There's that you owe me part.
Mm-hmm.
in such a manipulative way. And the way Fiona looks at John, like, what the fuck can you have possibly have done to owe
Yeah.
this man anything? We've
Right.
only been here like a week. What has happened?
Right. Exactly.
And he kind of is stuck and he's like, shit, I can't tell you anything, but I guess I gotta go. This part I thought was so awkward because Fiona asked to speak to John, right, in another room. So they get up and they leave, right?
Mhm.
Fiona and John go in another room. And it leaves Tommy with these Londonites.
Oh my God. And he says like a slur towards him, which was horrible.
Yes.
Oh, which
And
we
it
won't
makes,
get into.
no, and it makes them uncomfortable. So then you have Fiona and John arguing, right? And
Yeah.
Tommy's like creeping up to listen to this argument.
Yeah.
And she's losing her shit.
She's screaming at him and she says, I know what he's got on you. I know you were with Katrina. I know you spent the night with her.
Right.
And he's denying. He says, look, it's true. I did stay there, but nothing happened. He
Right.
said, all I did was kiss her. I was too drunk. I couldn't do anything. And she says, yeah, but if you weren't drunk, you would have. He said, no, if I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't have been there at all with her. And he says, okay, so I kissed a barmaid. He said, but you fucked my best friend. That's what he said.
Yep. And that's kind of where we figure that we get to put all the connections together.
Mm-hmm.
There's
This is where Tommy,
blur,
yeah.
right? You can see this is where he gets annoyed with them and decides to say something.
Oh, and he's calling him Jizz instead of Jez.
Yeah, that's so funny. And they don't know how to really react to him either, because they've just heard all these things about him. Clearly, the presence that he gives off and the way he carries himself makes him very creepy.
Yeah,
right?
He's very creepy.
These two are just going back and forth. And Jonathan's quick to like kind of give in to things, like, right? They'll argue, but then he's just like, fine, you're right. It's my fault.
I don't know if he said it was my fault. He said, look, what I did was nothing compared to what you did to me. And then she started to cry, Fiona. And then Fiona, again, with her armchair psychology, which is horrible. She says, well, John, I really think what happened in the play park in London is because you've been so angry with me. You allowed that woman to be beaten up because it's like you were wishing it was me. Something like that,
right.
Which is ridiculous. What kind of thing is that to say to him?
No, yeah, you can definitely tell she's grasping at straws, trying to figure out what's between them that's going on and why this is happening to him. So she's definitely taking that blame on herself. And then you see Tommy's watching it all, and now Tommy's heard that Fiona's cheated on him from this moment.
Right. Yeah, Tommy heard the whole thing.
Yep.
And he's eavesdropping and listening. It's just so horrible.
It is. It's really awkward. Ooh, where did I go? I lost it. All right. And as they are arguing and she brings up this, he actually sees her face when she mentions it. He sees the woman in the play park's face when she mentions it. Like she mentions it and it reminds him all about it. And you can see his face right after, the guilt.
He said, how could you? No, he said, how could you say that to me? He was hurt.
Hurt.
He was hurt that she would even think that about him. And he's right. He's absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't allowing that woman to be beaten because he's angry at Fiona.
No, he was just scared from all the other past trauma.
Absolutely.
I thought here, like, how could she definitely is like, how could you say that about me? But I think it's a guilt girl. Like I did because they flashed her like guilty that he didn't do something, but it has nothing to do with Fiona. Like, how could you think that I didn't do something because of you? It wasn't that. He's like, I feel bad I didn't do anything at all because of other issues that are going on, and you're making this about you. It's not about you.
That's right. Right. It's not about her. In a way, she's a little narcissistic,
Oh, yes.
Fiona. She is. It's all about her. She brings everything back to her. It's not about you. It's about him.
Right. And I hate that like she's the one that did something wrong here, right? She's the one that cheated and she's
Yep.
trying to get sympathy and feel like the victim when you're not at all.
Right. And that's what a narcissist would do.
Right. Absolutely.
So then
And
she sees Tommy there again. And he says, "Oh, I won't keep him long. I'll bring him back soon." And she hates Tommy. You see the look
right.
on her face. She hates his guts.
And at this point, that sounds like a good idea to go with Tommy, right? He didn't really want to go before, but now in the midst of this argument, he kind of just wants to get away. How could she say this to him? And
Exactly.
he's like, all right, time to go. I'm out. Look at the field. She's like, how? We're in the middle of a conversation. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just leave. And
Right.
she doesn't get to say that, but it's all over her face. And she's just infuriated with Tommy that Tommy's going to take John away and now has become that outlet. And the way he looks at her, he's like, oh, well, you fucked up, so I'm going to take him in.
I'm going to take him away from you.
I'm going to take him.
Exactly.
That face, I was just like, wow. I mean, these expressions are just so vivid.
Look at her face. If looks could kill, look at that look on her face.
Look at that. Again, another Game of Thrones look. I'm like, oh, that's like the way she looked at, like Cersei's.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's her own frustration and guilt just piled on as she closes her eyes because she can't stop him. She cannot stop him from leaving.
That's right.
And there they go driving down the street. And look at Tommy's face here. He looks so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And a little out of his, like, little off his rocker right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he's angry about a few things, right?
Right.
First, they're talking about, what was the first thing? So John said, so where are we going to find Cameron? He says, well, we're going to go to Katrina's house. And John says, why? I don't want to go to Katrina's house. I mean, it's the last place John wants to go, right?
Right.
And then he said, Tommy, did you say this to Fiona about asking her if we have sex and she should wear sexy lingerie? And Tommy says, yes, I did say it. And John said, well, you were kidding, right? He says, no, I wasn't kidding. And John says, Tommy, you can't talk to my wife like that. That's not right. And he said, yeah. He goes, all right. He says, well, let me just tell you, John, I'm not interested in Fiona. She's not my type. If she was a blonde, then you'd have something to worry about. That's what he said. And then, okay, so then after that, what did he say? I forget. He said, he says, and anyway, what she did to you, I overheard what she did to you. I heard she was with another man. He said, if Rebecca did that to me, I'd kill her.
Yep.
And that was blood curdling. And John was like, what? You see the look on John's face?
Yeah. When he realized
he meant it.
Yeah, he meant it. And John
meant it. Yeah.
Even the way he said it, he meant it 100%.
He meant it. He meant it. He would kill her if she cheated on him.
And then John tries to bring the conversation back. He's like, well, just don't talk to my wife about sex.
Right.
You just not talk to my wife about sex. And Tommy's like, fine. And so they have they had that conversation, and I find that interesting because then they had the conversation. They jump over to more Jane and Cameron, and it's almost like somebody's trying to convince somebody to do something. Is like the conversation is a very persuasive conversation, and here Cameron's telling or trying to tell Jane why he's down there, why he came down,
right?
And she's like not really buying into it because she's like, "What are you talking about?"
And he puts the cross down, and he says, "You know what this is," and she recognizes it, that it is Angus's cross, because Angus was in church wearing it, and Tommy was angry at him because it's a satanic symbol.
Right.
It's an upside down cross. So Tommy threw him out of the church, I think, or Tommy threw him out of the church because he was wearing it.
Right.
And I kind of got the sense, I don't know, did you get this sense, maybe I'm wrong, that Angus was very close to Maura Jean in some way?
I did. I felt like they had dated at one point.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I got that idea. The way she like took the chain and kind of knew that that was his. And that also made me think like maybe that's why another reason why Tommy hated him so much, right? Maybe they were starting to date or do something, or maybe got caught doing something, and that was just not allowed, because the way she took the chain and looked at the chain, there was definitely some type of like a history there. I agree. I definitely saw that.
But the thing is, she's a lot older than him because he was not old enough to buy beer.
Right. So he wasn't 21 yet. And so
No.
I think he was Cameron's friend, right? More Cameron's aged friend.
Yeah, but I do think there was something there between them. I don't know what it was, though. Maybe she didn't date him because of the age difference, but maybe he liked her. Maybe he had a crush on her or something like that.
Right. Kind of the way that Cameron has a crush on Katrina, right? Who's older.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And well, so Katrina, I mean, Maura Jean is kind of not really buying this, and Cameron really puts the whole thing on John, right? He's like, it's, you know, there's this new neighbor here, and I think the neighbor's bringing something bad out of Dad, or Dad's covering something up for the neighbor.
Yeah, because she said something about, you know, I don't want Dad coming here. She did say that. She didn't want to see Tommy again. She's afraid of him.
Right.
Then he said, I'm hearing an echo. And then he said that just what you had said, that wait, what did you say again?
He blamed it on John, right?
Right. That John is bringing something out of Tommy.
Right. And then it cuts to this scene, and you see them going to Katrina's house. And Tommy is like, for one, I thought you knew this was a setup, right? Because Tommy didn't want to really ring the doorbell, and he's kind of like hiding behind the wall, so Katrina doesn't see him.
Right.
And you can see Katrina and I think she's leaving a message for Cameron at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Right? You see Tommy kind of hiding back there.
Yeah.
And he kind of tells, you know, John, like, go ahead, ring the doorbell, go ahead, knock on the door. So John does it. And Katrina thought it was kind of weird that he was there. She's like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah. And she lets him in. He says, I'd like to talk to you for a minute. She lets him in. And then Tommy puts his hand there so she can't close the door.
Right.
But she closes the door on his hand. And then Tommy starts screaming. He comes in. He's in pain. He says, you slammed the door on my hand. You know, he's very dramatic. So John says, let me get him something cold to put on his hand. And John goes into the kitchen, and she follows him. She says, John, how could you do this? How could you let him in here? You know, you're playing games with me. I don't want him in my house. He's crazy. She said that. He's violent. I don't want him here.
Right.
John said, let me just give him the peas, the frozen peas, and we'll be on our way. So then Tommy faked the whole thing. Right. And he ran up the stairs.
I mean, look, he's really, really pulling this one off. Like, oh my God, like the amount of pain, just causing the situation to be more chaotic than it needs to be.
Right.
And they go get the ice. Sorry, I took so many pictures. And then he just walks it off like it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, because he faked it. He faked the whole thing.
Right. And then you see him running up the stairs, like you said. Katrina's just giving John so much shit. Like, why would you bring him here?
Yeah.
And then they notice that he's gone up the stairs. So they go running up the stairs after him. And she's like, "Get the hell out of my room. Get out of my stuff. What are you doing?"
And then he says, where is Cameron? She says, I don't know. So he grabs the phone away from her phone, and he throws her on the bed very violently.
Very violently. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, I might have duplicated. There he goes. Then he pushes and shoves her back.
He pushes her right onto the bed. And John's like, what's going on here? And then he opens her phone with her face. He puts it in front of her face.
Right.
Opens her phone. And he's reading her text messages, and he says, where is Cameron? Is he in Glasgow? He's with his sister? She said, yes, he's with his sister. He said, what did Cameron tell you? She goes, he didn't tell me anything. She told him to, get the hell out of her house.
Look at the fear on their faces. Jeez.
And John is surprised. I don't know why John is so surprised, but he is.
Yeah, considering all the violence that they've been around at this point, I don't know what it's such a shock to John, but he's just like, almost like, how did I get myself into this position again?
Right. And that's exactly what he was reliving at that moment. We'll get to it now. Yeah, so Tommy's like, so then Tommy says to John, can you give me and Katrina a few moments alone, please? And she says, no, John, don't leave me alone with him. Please don't leave me alone with him. Right. So John is like, Tommy, look, why don't we just leave? And then Tommy pushes John away, and he starts choking Katrina. He throws her against the wall, and he's choking her.
Yeah.
And this was really hard to watch, really hard to watch.
I agree.
And John is reliving the whole thing that happened in London again, the whole play park incident.
I love this shot because you can see all three of their faces because of the mirror. That was a really good shot.
Yep.
And there's John. He looks so confused in this moment.
He's confused, and it's also making him realize he's being forced to do something. Right. He's got to stop it. He can't let this happen again. He can't let a woman be beat up again. Right.
So he actually does something about it, which I was so surprised that he actually did.
I'm not surprised.
Look at this crazy man's face. Choking her out. That's how you knew something was wrong. Look at that. He's just reveling.
He's enjoying it. He loves it. John knew that it was do or die at this point. That if he didn't do something, he could not live with himself after this. He had to do something.
Exactly. So he finally tries to grab at Tommy with. Clearly, he doesn't do this normally. They go wrestling because Tommy headbutts him. Right?
Yeah.
He headbutts him good, and she goes running out, and Tommy gives her chase. He runs her down.
Oh, this was awful. And he's dragging her on the floor. He's pulling her hair. He's doing all kinds of stuff, grabbing her by the neck.
This was such a scary moment. Absolutely.
But it shows you what a maniac he is. Again, we talk about her being a victim. She is victimized by all the men in this town. Really victimized. And, I say to myself, why does she stay there? Right? Why does she continue living there? So she finally kicks him in the head, gets him off of her. And she takes out a knife and she says, get out of my house, get out.
It's crazy. She doesn't even bother to call the police, probably because she knows it's going to be what? Bobby?
Yeah. Bobby, his friend, Tommy's friend, Bobby. Right. Nothing will happen. So now John is very traumatized. John's bleeding because Tommy punched him in the mouth. He elbowed him in the mouth.
Right.
And John is in shock by the whole thing. He can't believe what he just saw. And Tommy, I love this scene. He's filled with blood all over his face. And look at the look on his face. And he starts laughing. this maniacal laugh.
It's almost like I was so close.
Hello? Jen?
Glad that he came close to it. He got to get that rush for a minute. He's just still thinking about it. He just looks so covered in blood. You can just see the monster inside of him.
I mean, but then he starts to cackle and laugh, and it's terrifying. Look at John's face. John's like, what?
Right. Like, how there he goes cackling. And look at John's face. John's like, this is not fucking happening. This is not real life right now.
Right.
He's laughing and he's just looking out the window like, this can't be real.
John's like, I'm living in a nightmare. My life is a nightmare. God. And he's thinking about Angus again. He's thinking about when he attacked Angus.
I think looking at Tommy and seeing that blood on his face reminds him, like, did I look like that? Was I laughing and happy that I did this to somebody?
Yeah. But I also think, but just go back for a second.
Oh, yeah.
I also think that at that moment, John was in a rage, right? When he was hitting Angus with the rock, he was in a rage. And he was exactly where Tommy is at this moment.
Right.
He could see that Tommy is off his mind. He sees it.
Yep. And I think that's when he looks at him. Like, did I look like that when I did that? And then he realizes, like, I don't think I was that crazy and deranged. Like, this is another level of crazy and deranged.
That's right. Exactly. Good point. He sees the difference.
And this is where it clicks to him and he realizes it. Because at this moment, right after this look, is where he kind of starts changing his tone and the way he responds to Tommy.
Yes. And here Maura Jane is talking about Tommy, reminiscing about how creepy Tommy is. And she said, if you look close enough, you see a darkness there, she said. And that's when Cameron said, well, I think it's John. I think John is bringing something out of Dad. It's like he doesn't, he thinks his father is innocent in all of this. It's all John's fault, right?
Right.
But what I have to say is, come on. He had to have seen something in his father. He has to see it. Unless he's just like his father.
That's what I was going to say. I think that Cameron has a lot of tendencies like his father. So seeing it in his father would mean he'd have to admit and see that in himself. And he is in denial. So I don't think he sees it.
Right.
And then we cut back over to the car ride. And here, I mean, John is just still horrified over the man that's sitting next to him, right?
Oh, yeah. Horrified. Terrified. He can't wait to get away from him. And now Tommy, his face is covered with blood.
Right.
And he, so John says, so what are you going to do with Cameron when you find him? And Tommy said, well, is that your concern? Is that your business?
Right.
I mean, that was a low blow, right?
I agree. Like, you have him looking for him, but he wants to know what's going to happen to him. I think that's a valid question. You kind of already roped him into looking for this kid with you. And both of you know what you're really looking for. So at this point, I thought that was a very valid question. And the way he dismissed him, kind of like, I thought that was another eye-opener. I don't know if John caught it, but clearly he doesn't give a shit what you say. Tomorrow can come and go and you could be gone and it's not going to affect his life in any way.
Well, he thought that Tommy was his friend. He thought Tommy cared about him. And now he sees Tommy doesn't. He's like, well, it's not your business what I do. Right? He just cut him right off at the knees.
Right. And this is that scene right there. Because look at his face. He's just in shock. Like you said, he thought that they were friends. And he's just like, how dare you get in my business?
Yeah. Yeah.
And asking about my son.
And then he says, why don't you and Fiona come over for dinner sometime, he said.
You have to do dinner again, he tells him.
I mean, you want to talk about how uncomfortable this situation is, right?
Right.
And John's like, well, Fiona's kind of busy nowadays. And Tommy starts getting concerned. Oh,
Yeah.
John, is something wrong? Or are we good?
Are we good? And John is just like, huh? What, huh? It almost, I think John couldn't even process that question. Like, did he really just ask me after you just try to strangle a woman to death? And after everything I know, you asked me if we're good? Like, that's the question that just came out of your mouth? He looks at him like he is just stunned and in disbelief. Like,
Yep.
did you just ask me, huh? Look, and then
Yep.
he has to think about it. He's like, yeah, sure, we're good. It
Yeah.
is he figured out that he needs to lie. I mean, look at this face. This
Oh,
face.
yeah. Yeah.
He's like, all
It
right,
was like this is life or death here. I gotta pretend that everything is cool and I gotta get the hell away from this guy.
exactly.
That's it.
This is a look of I can play this survival game now. Now that I know that that's what I'm playing, I can do it. I don't think he
Yes.
can, but that is definitely the look that he's giving off.
Oh, yes. And Tommy knows it. He sees it. He
Yes.
sees that John has changed towards him. He sees it. So
I mean-
then he tells John, here, John, wipe your face off. You got blood on your face. So he gives John a towel,
Right.
a rag, and John is wiping his face with it. And he says, okay, Tommy, I'll see you later. And he walks away. And Tommy's just like glaring at him like he knows something's up. He knows that John is not his friend anymore. He sees it.
Right, he sees it, and I think this is the first time that we really see him concerned and worried over
Yeah.
what he can do. Because now it's not a matter of is John going to slip up by accident. Now
Right.
it's a matter of did I just lose him, and is he going to like turn on me? Because clearly I took it too far.
Right. Let's stop and read the chat for a minute.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Let's go back. Okay. Oh, Scarlett was here. Hi, Scarlett. Hey, everyone. Why don't you do yourself a favor and subscribe? Hit that like button. Thank you so much, Scarlett. Appreciated. Okay, a favor. Okay. Dieter says, "Oh, I forgot the like butter." I think he meant like button.
Yes.
And let's see what else we got. Okay. Hi, Kelly. Sorry you were oh, Dieter's not feeling well. Dieter is sick. He said,
Oh, boy. What would I say?
wait, let's see. Where is he? I forgot the oh yeah, he says I'm sick. Oh, sorry, Dieter. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope you feel better.
Yes.
A Scarlett left. Okay, good night, Scarlett. She said, I wanted to lend my support in my misspelling way. Okay.
Love Scarlett. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Scarlett. And and Dieter also, he says button, not butter, right?
He must really be sick.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Let's see what else we got.
All right. This I thought was very
wait.
ballsy. Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we still have some more. Okay, Kelly said he has displayed some creepy behavior. Absolutely, 100%. Very creepy, very scary, very homicidal. Really scary. And Doc is here. Hi, Doc. Hello. Nice to see
Doc.
you. Glad to see you, Doc. Okay, so we caught up with the chat. So let's get back to the show. So there's a message on the door. It says "Sleep in the tent."
I thought
Fiona
Fiona
was
had
like-
some balls saying this. I was like, really? Like, you're just making the situation so much worse. If anybody should not be sleeping in their bed, it should be you. You're the one that's
right.
somebody else. Like, how dare you sleep in the tent? Not even the couch. She doesn't even give them the couch because I guess the guests are over. And I just thought, I'm like, what kind of image is that? Like, show your friends that you're like you made him sleep outside in the tent with the kids, like he's a child. Like you're punishing him. Like she's got some balls. She is not a good person.
She's treating him like a child, basically.
Very much.
Meantime, she's the one that betrayed him.
Right.
She's the one that had the affair. He
Exactly.
didn't.
And all this is going down, and you have Nathan in the car pretty much stalking and watching him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's watching John very closely. And John goes to the tent where the kids are sleeping.
And there's like no
And
room in the tent for him either. That tent is pretty full. He really has to sleep at the feet of the kids like a dog.
yeah, he does. But I
Poor-
like the way he grabs the kid's stuffed animal again, right? Is he
Right,
holding the stuffed animal?
right.
Let's see.
He takes one to use as a pillow.
Oh, he's using it as a pillow. Okay.
Right. I don't think he wants to hold another stuffed animal after he destroyed
No.
the other one.
And
Uh,
now they're speaking and deciding what to do about John because he tells her what happened with Katrina. And she says, I knew it would get out of hand.
he was
And
like,
he
I
says,
scared him tonight, right?
he said, I scared John. I think I really scared him. And she said, I knew that would happen, she said. And he says, he's concerned that John, what could John could do. But then he said, but you know what? I'm in his soul. I own him. John
Right.
is a weak man. So he doesn't think John will actually do anything about it.
Right. And I think at this point they're on the phone too, right? With the kids. Margie
Yeah.
and called. Right? They're on the phone. Margie and called.
I just want to say hi with Alice. I'm with Alice is here. Hello.
Oh, hey with Alice. Hey.
So Maura Jean calls up and tells them that Cameron is with her and that they're going to come back to Coldwater the next day. And Rebecca's like, oh, it's so wonderful you're coming home. We haven't seen you in a long time. She hasn't been home in like 5 years. That's a long time.
Right.
That's because of Tommy.
Right.
She has stayed far away. So she tells Tommy that they're coming home. And she says they both love you. You don't have to worry, because he's worried that maybe they'll turn him in or something,
Right.
So she's trying to tell him, no, don't worry. Your kids love you. Don't worry about it. And then, so then he says, okay. And then she goes, what about John? He says, well, John will listen to me. Don't worry. I got control over John.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting when he's like, she's like, are you worried between the kids? And he's like, I'm more worried about John. Right?
Yeah.
His main thing is about John.
Right.
And she goes to fill up the glass of wine for him. And this is the look that she has. Like, she is thinking about everything that he just told her and where this is really going to go. You can just see, like, she's actually worried and pretty much disappointed in Tommy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But when she turns with the glass, it's like she almost turns into a whole nother person. She's like, all right, time to put on my mask and play this role again.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's like she's playing two ends of the stick here.
Yeah.
So she's giving him some wine, and they start getting kind of romantic here. And she tells him how much she loves him. And then he's like, I love you too. And they start like making out in a very sloppy way, right? It was kind of gross. I was grossed out by him. I have to be honest.
I'm with you on that. It was kind of gross.
I mean, the way he was kissing her, like he was sucking her, it was weird. Right. I find him absolutely repulsive. And I don't understand her attraction for him. I really don't. It's weird.
I don't either, but she makes a line here. He goes, what if we're really in trouble here? Like, what if I went too far? And she tells him, we'll find a way out of this. We always have.
Yes. Right. So this has come up many times.
There goes a sloppy kiss. I almost almost looked at it.
Yeah. Oh.
Here comes the look at her. Oh, Harley Quinn.
Oh, little Harlequin. This is so sad.
Yes, trigger warning for the animal lovers at this point. Trigger warning.
Yes, trigger warning. Yes.
So, and as soon as I saw Harley Quinn, you kind of already knew that he was going to probably try to finish the job that he had tried earlier on that day.
But let me ask you, what is wrong with this cat that he go back to him after that?
I don't know. That's
I
strange.
was thinking that.
Yeah.
I mean, the cat's not very smart, okay?
No,
I mean,
not at all.
so he picks up Harlequin. Oh, so sad. And John is sleeping, and John wakes up and he hears a cat screaming.
Right.
And he's like, what? What's going on?
Right. Kind of wants to know what's going on, and he gets out of the tent and he starts to go to where he thinks he hears this sound, and he goes walking around the house. And again, trigger warning, he finds Harley Quinn just dead on top of something outside, and he is just heartbroken when he sees that Harley Quinn is dead.
And he picks up Harlequin, and John is saying, no, no, no. And then he looks over at the house, at Tommy's house, and he realizes that Tommy did it.
Yep.
He knows it.
Yes, he knows it. He knows it in his bones. You can tell by the way he looks over at that house. He knows.
And he knows that it's a warning to him.
Yep. And that's kind of where this episode ends.
Yeah. Tommy is warning him, listen, if you're thinking about telling anybody anything, this is what's going to happen to you.
And being that Harley Quinn was strangled and he was just trying to strangle Katrina, I thought that message really hit home to John, because John knows and has kind of just witnessed all this. And he's like, this man is crazy. Like, he had to get his fix in on strangling something, and he went out, I couldn't kill Katrina, so he killed my cat.
That's right. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. He redirected that impulse to kill onto the cat.
Right.
And it was like killing two birds with one stone. He gets his rocks off, and he also sends a message to John at the same time.
Right. Exactly. Definitely two birds with one stone. This is the second time this show has done that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I do think, though, that John, I'm sure John regrets moving to Coldwater. I think he wished he had stayed in London.
At this point, right? It's almost like, could I have faced dealing with, people maybe knowing or recognizing me from, what happened at the play park, to do I want to live next to a psychopath?
Exactly.
That's
another reason, by the way, why I think Fiona is so angry at John is because they moved to Scotland because of John. John is the reason why they're there. She moved her whole business there for him.
Right.
So she's angry. Right. She uprooted herself for him. So I think we do have to keep that in mind, that she really has done a lot for him, maybe to make up for the affair. She did what she had to do. Right.
That's what I'm thinking. In order to save her marriage and to make up for the affair, she kind of went along with the, fine, you want to leave London and get away from everybody and all of this, then we'll leave. Mm-hmm. Especially after the play park. And I think that was a cue to Fiona that something is definitely off. He's having a hard time moving past this. So fine, he wants to move, we'll move.
Right. That's what happened. So, from that point of view, I mean, I guess you can understand her frustration, and of course his frustration with her. They have very good reason to be having marital problems. They actually need a therapist. They need marital counseling. But that therapist in Coldwater is not going to be the one. No. Oh, God, no. And I think he's the only therapist in town there, right? It seems that way.
Yeah, they're going to have to travel.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, guys, let's ask you, what did you think of this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate this episode? I think I would give this an 8.
Yes.
Yeah. You too? 8?
Yeah, I'd go with an 8.
Yeah. It was good. I think it's a very good episode. The next one, things really start taking off in the next episode.
Right?
Yeah. That one is very eventful.
I mean, by this point, we're 3 episodes in, and we've done quite a bit of character building. We've really seen a lot of emotions expressed through their facial and what actually is just going down between them. So we really have a good sense of like where these characters are coming from. I mean, we don't have this huge background between Rebecca and Tommy yet, but we're starting to get these little pieces, right? Especially with the introduction of like Mara Jean at this point. You're kind of just seeing that relationship, and you're watching Tommy kind of start to unravel a little bit. And John really was completely broken and unstable, and all of this chaos is breaking him actually into clarity. That's kind of, I think, like you would think it would break him down even more, but I think he's starting to become aware of the danger that he really is next to now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like it's growing him up. Like, I'm not saying that he was a child before, but just growing up to the sense of this real danger that's next to him, that he's always had this fear of, that he's run from, that anger and that monster. I really do think that he sees a little bit of that inside of Tommy, and that kind of scares him. Like, imagine if he got that out of control, to see somebody go after a woman the way Tommy just did, and in the park. Like, even if he had those anger and that rage towards Fiona for what she did, I don't think he'd ever bring himself to actually physically hurt her, even if those thoughts went through his mind. And then seeing somebody next to him that he considered a friend actually go after somebody and hurt them, I think all of that kind of clicks. Like, I might have thought certain things and have this anger inside of me and this rage, but not on the level that Tommy has. And I think he really is comparing what he's done to what Tommy has done, and kind of seeing a little bit that he's not psychotic, he's just deeply troubled and traumatized, where Tommy has a real monster he's carrying inside of him, and he really is the real deal of what a disturbed person is.
I agree, Jen, 100% with what you said. I absolutely. And it's very interesting that Fiona made that assumption about John wanting to see that woman get kicked and beat up in the park because he's angry at Fiona, right? That's what she said to him.
Right.
And in the same episode, we see Tommy do the exact same thing to Katrina, and how John really felt about it, right?
Right.
It's like it drove it home that is not what was going on with John. Now, John is traumatized, 100% traumatized by his past, by whatever happened to him in his past, that he cannot express his anger in a healthy way. He buries it. So whenever he sees violence, he runs away from it. That's the problem. Except now with Katrina, he could not run away. He was forced to confront it.
Do you think he was forced to confront it because it's just been so much trauma and he finally snapped into doing something? Or do you think it's because he saw Katrina as somebody that was vulnerable, and just because of what they had between them, he felt that he had to defend her?
Well, I'm sure that there was a little bit of that because they were together, right? They did kiss and spent the night together. They didn't have sex, but they spent the night together. Right. But I think it was more that he knew he had to man up.
I agree.
He knew it was time to man up, because if he didn't man up, he may not be around too much longer.
Yeah, I didn't think it had anything to do with Katrina either. I did see that maybe some people could see it that way, or if when Fiona finds out, if she does, that might be a trigger for Fiona, like, oh, you saved her. But I don't think that's what it was at all. I think something kind of snapped, like, I can stop and do something. And I think it's because he knew Tommy. Like, that was a stranger, like that, those were two strangers in the play park, right? But now he actually has some type of a connection to both of these people, the victim and the abuser. And I think that connection is why he's like, I actually have to do something. I can't just run away and hope somebody else does something. I'm the only one here, and I know them. I know them at this point. This is my friend. I can't let my friend just do this to somebody else.
That's right. And, again, it goes back to earlier in the episode when he destroyed that stuffed animal. It was the beginning of him realizing he's got to man up. He's got to grow up, that his anger is there and he has to recognize it. If he doesn't recognize the anger, it's going to destroy him. Absolutely. So when he saw Tommy doing this, he knew he had to stand up and stop it. He had to take responsibility for his anger and prevent Tommy from killing Katrina, because he would have killed her. There's no question about it. He definitely would have killed her.
Absolutely. And the joy that, like, the face that Tommy put on, he would have loved every second of it. That was definitely fulfilling that murderous quench that he needed.
Yes. Yes. I mean, for John, this is horrifying. I mean, on many levels, it's horrifying. Being around a man who's that angry and rageful is horrifying. Maybe his father was rageful. I mean, we don't know much about John's history, right? I
Right.
really wish this show would have given us more a perspective of John's childhood. I would love to have known more about it, but they didn't. But I think that John just knows it's time to grow up. John has been feeling like a victim all this time. Fiona cheated on him. It was very emasculating. He doesn't work. He doesn't have a career. He depends on Fiona. He's got to watch the kids. You know, John's pretty down on himself.
Yeah.
And this was his chance to stand up for himself.
I mean, it really, the fact that Fiona cheated with not just a stranger or like a coworker, with somebody that John knew, his best friend, I think that really shows just how broken John is and how wrong Fiona is, and how, I mean, the amount of pride that he has to actually like shovel down and just, you know, to continue a relationship with her. Like, that was his best friend. And here he is, he's clearly not working, right? He's staying home as like the nanny house mom, and he doesn't have any of his own friends. He's lost them all because of Fiona, but he still has to deal with Fiona all the time. I mean, he's really been put in these um positions where most people would have walked out and left. And for somebody that always likes to run away from something, the fact that he's trying to stay and just swallow this, which is really just breaking him down even further, just shows this circular pattern that he keeps going through to be re-traumatized again, or just leave that window open for just something wrong to happen in this aspect.
Right. And you know, and the fact that this guy Matthew and his wife are getting divorced, that made John and Fiona think, well, we may get divorced too.
Right. Right. I actually almost felt like John almost envied his best friend at that moment. Like, you get divorced from your wife and leave this situation and start like a new life, right? But I'm
Right.
stuck in this situation, stuck dealing with the aftermath that you left behind.
Right.
That they both
Right.
left behind,
Exactly.
right?
That's an
He's almost
excellent point.
jealous. Yeah.
Right. Right. Because his friend is free now and he's
Right.
stuck.
And the
Yep.
friend is the one that did the bad thing, right? And he gets to have
Right.
this free life. And here John is a victim to their adultery, that affair that they had. And he's still stuck in this dilemma where he still has to look at Fiona, can't have sex with her because he can't bring himself to even touch her. And he has to still deal with her. And she talks down to him constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You want to talk about a man who's emasculated? That's him. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Like
you know, yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say their living situation is just really causing for these like this rage outburst in John, right? Like, it's kind of, you can clearly see why he like ripped apart the stuffed animal from beating it. He really has this rage inside between being angry with his life, his wife, his living situation. He, like you said, he is the one that decided to come here, and now he's got this crazy ass neighbor that he's like, great, am I gonna have to up and move again? He just has a lot of pressure on him, and I don't think, and Fiona just continually adds to that pressure, right? So he's just like waiting to pop. And we've seen that with Angus, we see that with the stuffed animal. And granted, it hasn't escalated, right? I think the escalation was killing somebody. From killing somebody to just murdering a stuffed animal is way different. But it's still these rage outbursts that he has, trying to deal with everything on a daily life basis.
I'm going to play that clip again for people who came on late.
Oh yes, let me get out of this. There we go.
Just remind you of, if you said Rick,
Hold on, I got to
would
play
be
it from the beginning. Okay.
it has been now starting to embrace it.
I mean, so right there we see how angry John is. Okay, I just think this scene is very telling. I want to like really watch. I wish I could slow it down. Let me see if I can slow it down.
You know, watching that, you know how Fiona made the connection that in the play park, what happened, the reason why John didn't do anything is because deep down he wished it was him, her, right? That's what the connection that Fiona made. When we see this, now that I'm watching it, it's really the connection to him beating that stuffed animal is really going back to like Angus and him just being so angry. Like it's not like just beating somebody. He's got a murderous rage inside of him for everything that's
Yes.
to him.
Yes.
Fiona
Exactly.
scratched the iceberg. If you think that he just wants to beat you up, he kind of doesn't really want to kill you, but he wishes he can kill you. Like that's how Matt is. And it's funny because Tommy says, you know, if Rebecca ever did that to me, I'd kill her. And then
Right.
now that I think about all of that, I'm like, that had to like be a quick trigger to John being like, I almost did want to kill her, and I kind of killed Angus because of it, and I just murdered a stuffed animal 10 minutes ago before we got in this car.
Right. So you think that that John did have a murderous feeling towards Fiona? I mean, subconsciously.
I think subconsciously, I think absolutely he does. I didn't see it until you replayed that now, but I'm like, oh, I think that's what it is. Like I know Fiona said, you know, about the beating up, but I think it's deeper than that. And I think
yeah. I mean, it's not literal, right?
No,
it's not that he literally, right,
literal.
right.
But if you want to talk about him having a fantasy, I
Yeah.
don't think the fantasy was when he saw that the stranger in London beating up the other stranger, the female in the play park. I think that murderous rage came out when he killed Angus. I think that is probably what he really meant.
Yeah. Well, I think he's angry at Fiona for many reasons. He's angry at her that she cheated on him. He's angry at her that she's more successful than he is. She's also very domineering, and she treats him like a child. So all these things together, deep down, he's very angry with her. Very. But he represses it. And he represses a lot of his anger towards a lot of things. With Angus was taunting him. Angus was like following him. He was bullying him. And John finally reacted because Angus actually jumped on him. Angus would have hurt him if he didn't fight back.
Oh yeah.
So he had no choice. He had to defend himself. But he took it to the next level. He took a rock and he beat him. And that's where John's anger came out. It came out in a rage because he's so angry inside. It's not really, I don't see it as it being about Fiona at all. I think he's just angry by feeling so emasculated in his life. He's angry with himself. That's the way I see it. And what I like about this, and I'm going to play it again, see if I could slow it down. So, I mean, this is some rage here. This is like he actually tore the stuffing out of the animal, and he's just like banging it on the couch here. And he's tearing this thing apart. And while he's doing it, he's picturing Angus. Wait, where is that part? Okay, let me play it again.
Inside of him for a long time in his subconscious mind. But through meeting Tommy, he's now starting to embrace it.
Right. Meeting Tommy, he's embracing his anger.
Yes, John is.
And while he's doing it, he sees Angus. He sees himself killing Angus.
Right.
Yes.
So he's embracing his anger through meeting Tommy. Tommy got him in touch with his anger, basically. And this is just showing us that he needs to get it out and he needs to deal with it. So is he angry with Fiona? Yeah, definitely. He probably at times he hates her. Right. But I don't think he subconsciously wants to hurt her. I think he's angry at himself. So when Katrina was being attacked, he stepped up and saved her because he has to claim the anger he feels. Right? Tommy is showing him what anger is when it's when there's a psychosis there, when the person is not thinking rationally. John is not a psychotic person. He's a rational person. So he understands that if he doesn't feel his anger, it will destroy him. His anger will destroy him. And that's why he stepped up and he fought Tommy. He got Tommy off of Katrina.
I like that perspective, actually. I really do. Because I hadn't seen him really connect. I really haven't seen the connection to Fiona until you played that clip, and that's the immediate moment that I got because we've been talking about it. But now
Yeah,
after you explain it, I kind of go back to, yeah, you're right. You are correct. I don't. I think it is just the anger inside of him that Tommy has brought out, and he kind of sees it. But
yeah,
when he sees Tommy take it to that next level, Katrina, he realizes that he can't go there. That's not acceptable.
right. And if anything, with Fiona, if anything, I think he would cry with her more
Right.
than he would. Like, I can't see him ever hitting her. I
No.
could see him crying, though.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So when she said that to him, right, she accused him. She said, "You saw that woman being beat up in the park, and you secretly wished it was me." You saw how hurt he was. He said, "How could you say that to me?" He
Right.
looked like he was going to cry at that moment.
Yeah, considering that he had run away and everything, I think, yeah, you're right, actually. I do. I retract what I said now.
No, 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 no. Listen, there is no right or wrong here. I mean, we're just discussing what we see, right?
Right.
I mean, a lot of what you said makes sense too, because sometimes you could be angry with someone and you can have a murderous rage inside of you where I wish I could, kill that person, right? But you don't really mean it. But for the moment you may have that feeling, but it's not something you would actually do, right?
Right.
And that's where Fiona was coming from. She said, "You probably hate me and you wish it was me." And but that's not where John is at, though. John
Right.
is hating himself. John has a lot of self-hatred. And I think that's the issue with him.
Right. Like we had said in
Because
the earlier episode.
because I'm sorry, I just want to finish what I was thinking, because if I say it, because he's constantly being confronted by angry men. This is a constant thing that keeps happening to him.
It,
So
it's almost like he's a magnet to it because he has some
yes,
anger inside of him.
yes, he's a magnet. He draws these angry men to him because he's so angry himself. He hates himself. He absolutely hates himself. So these men come and they're in his face and they challenge him because he hates himself. That's the whole issue with him.
Yeah, going back to what you said earlier, I really wish we did know what his childhood was like. I wish they gave us a little insight into that, kind of to help just flush out where all this anger and rage that he has comes
Hmm.
from, besides Fiona and what they've gone through. Because clearly there's
Exactly.
much more piled onto this than Fiona.
Yeah, because when the therapist asked him, "Let's talk about your mother," he says, "No, I'm not ready to go there yet." so, so we know something happened with his mother.
Yes.
We just don't know what it is. We don't know what his childhood is, what his father was like. We don't know anything. Um, but I kind of wish we did. So, but actually, Jen, I like your take on it, though. I mean, there is some truth to it. He does have anger at Fiona, where maybe at times he did wish she wasn't around anymore, that he was alone, that he wasn't with her anymore.
Right.
Because it's hurtful, it's painful. She cheated on him with his best friend, right?
Yeah.
How do you how do you deal with that? How do you get away with that?
I don't know, but I know that he's got to be confused with all those emotions, which is probably also leading up to this pent up, bottled up rage that he has. Because
Uh-huh.
you're right. How do you deal with all that? How do you move forward on that? And I feel like he tried, like, let's leave London. And, he's been trying, but every time he tries to do something, he's still carrying this anger inside of him and it keeps getting confronted by different people
Uh-huh.
because he hasn't dealt with it. He just tries to move on from it without dealing with it.
Exactly. Absolutely. So this show is actually more psychological than people think.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Besides the whole murder serial killer thing, which definitely intrigues and just brings in a whole audience, there's this whole underlining huge psychological piece. And like I said, the facial expressions that these actors are giving are just so on point to help you really understand what the authors and the narrator want to get across to us as the
Right.
viewers, because there is such a huge psychological on everybody's level, right? We're trying to
Yeah.
see on Rebecca's level, on Tommy's level, Fiona's level, and absolutely on John's level, just how much psychological damage can be caused and what that drives a person to do or to become.
Right. Right. And I
So,
like the fact that they are magnets for each other, John and Tommy.
yes.
They are drawing each other for different reasons. John, because he needs to feel his anger, and Tommy is anger personified,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And Tommy needs to find the goodness in him to stop the killing, to have a conscience. And that's John.
Right.
So that's why they're so drawn to each other. And as the story goes on, we're going to see more and more of this coming out, where there's going to be a redemption arc, where John is going to find religion, which is something he never wanted, right?
Right.
But Tommy made him realize, you know what? This is something I need in my life. And Tommy wants to be redeemed, but he sees that he really can't be, though.
Right. Almost like he's gone too far.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
back.
He's gone too far. Yeah. There's no return for him. But we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
Yes.
So the chat, we got some ratings on the episode. We got Mike gave it an 8. Kelly gave it an 8. Those are the only two we got so far. Dieter. Okay, Dieter says, oh, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Dieter. I appreciate that. And yes, comment after the live ends. I would definitely appreciate that. And if you can hype this video, that would be great. I know some videos you can hype and some you can't. Some people can be hyped, others can't. So far, I don't know if I can be hyped, but if you see an ability to hype, please hype it, because that helps. And let's see. Kelly said Angus was trying to kill him. Yes, Angus was trying to kill John, and that's why John had no choice but to defend himself. He had no choice. If Angus was not trying to kill him, I'll bet you anything John would have run away again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. He would have run right away.
Now, I'm curious to see how the dynamic's gonna fall. I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but the fact that Rebecca has been trying to be the goodness for Tommy, but Tommy's finding the goodness in John, and at the a couple scenes back, we see Tommy tell Rebecca, he's like, I'm not really concerned with Cameron and all that. That's fine, you got that, but I'm concerned with John. And we don't really see Rebecca. We just see her like deep in thought for a moment. But you had just mentioned that they are opposites and they kind of attract to each other. That Tommy kind of sees that goodness and that innocence in John and kind of wants that. And I feel that Rebecca has always tried to give that to Tommy, and he's looking for it elsewhere, not in a cheating, adulterous way, but I think she's also realizing she's not everything that he needs at this point for him to maintain him not killing.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good point. I do think that that's true. She's trying so hard to be this virtuous person for him, right?
Right.
But I think Tommy sees through it, though. He knows that Rebecca is his accomplice. He knows that she's bad. Maybe not as bad as him, but she's bad.
Well, yeah, considering that she knows and allows it and will always find a way for them to make it out, that kind of, she no longer becomes this virtuous person, but becomes like his safety net.
Right. She's his safety net. She's trying to protect him and have a cover for him. And I think that's why she became the vicar in the church. It's their cover story. That's all it is.
I agree.
It's like, how could anyone suspect him? His wife is a vicar. He has a Bible study group going. He's a church-going man. Who would suspect him?
Right. Exactly.
And I think also it's a way of trying to redeem him in his mind, because I don't think Rebecca believes that. She told Fiona that she doesn't believe in God. Remember?
Right.
So you have to wonder, what is her feelings about this? Does she believe in God? Maybe she does. I don't know. But I think Tommy does.
I do
So,
too. I think he's constantly looking for salvation after all of these bad things that he's done. Clearly, this is not the first time that he's murdered and killed. And knowing the Bible so well and knowing that's against one of the commandments, that's a big thing, right? To go against
mhm,
God in that way. I
right.
feel like he doesn't believe that there's a road of salvation for him at
No.
this point.
And I think that's why she started to be the vicar in the church. She's trying to help redeem him because it's what he wants
Desperately.
desperately. But he can't get it through that. But he can get it through John, ironically enough.
Right.
John is that good virtuous person that Tommy wants to be.
And
And
even
that's why he's sucked into John.
yeah, and even I think it's even more clear at the end of the episode, even with John, trying to stop Tommy, right, from hurting Katrina and fighting
Right.
back.
Right.
Tommy almost his anger and what it is inside of him that makes him want to kill is greater than whatever love for religion or God that he could possibly have, and even for his own self and seeking that redemption, even though he desperately wants it, that need for killing. Because then, if it would have affected Tommy, where he's like, "Damn, thank God John stopped me. He is that good person, that goodness that I need." He wouldn't have killed Harley Quinn's cat.
That's right.
I mean, he would have killed John's cat, Harley Quinn. He
Right.
killed him as a warning, like, and I almost feel like that's his subconscious speaking out as well. Like, it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, I'm going to still do what I do.
That's right. Exactly.
And I wish Rebecca would see that, or hopefully we'll get to that in episode 4, where like it doesn't matter how much goodness you can kind of find in Tommy. He's always going to revert back to this. There's just something innately evil inside of him that makes him want to kill.
Exactly. And that's why he's so attracted to John, because he wants to be John, basically. He
Right.
wants to be like John, passive, not a killer, somebody who's good-hearted. That's what he wants.
Right.
But I think he realizes that his desire to kill, just what you said, his desire to kill means he can never be like John,
Right.
because
Exactly.
it wins over the goodness. He can't be that way. But John is learning to be angry. He's
Yes.
finally accepting it. Tommy's actually helping him with that, ironically enough.
Right.
Tommy's anger and rage has made it okay for John to feel his own anger and rage. But like, I love what you said when they were in the car. You said John, when they were in the car and John remembered not killing, but beating up Angus, he saw how he felt at the moment, and he compared himself to Tommy. And he
Yes.
realized that Tommy is psychotic. He is not.
Right.
I love that you said that, because you were absolutely right. He realized in that moment, I can be angry, but I'm not Tommy. I'm not a psycho like Tommy.
Right, exactly. There was definitely a difference in how their rage is like how the rage comes out of them. It comes out of John as a survival instinct, right? Where Tommy looks for that, and when he's enraged, he almost doesn't have this chaotic rage fit. He's able to very well self-control that rage and manifest it into murder. And that is not the
Absolutely.
same way that John does it. That's not what John was manifesting at all. He was
No.
just trying to survive and trying to get out of his situation, which is
Mhm.
almost what he tries to do for everything, right? Just try to survive and get out of the situation, whether it's running away, not facing it, or just having to pick up a rock and defend himself. But that's how it's always been. His reaction to rage is almost like a self-defense mechanism that he has to use. It's an outlet.
Yes.
Where for
Yes.
Tommy, it is a need.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact that Rebecca is complicit really speaks volumes about her. She's very scary to me. In some ways, she's worse than Tommy. if you think about it,
I
because
agree.
she knows what he's doing and she's protecting him and she's enabling him.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can't have it both ways. You can't try to be somebody's good and virtuous person by leaving all these little sticky notes around and then be complicit to the bad that they do and always find a way out for that person so they don't get caught. Because deep
Right.
down, I know they say all serial killers, they want to get caught. And Tommy clearly doesn't want to go to jail and be caught by the law, but he doesn't mind if certain people know or get the message to not fuck with him, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Rebecca is she's worse than him, I think. I really do. Because you know what? He's honest about who he is, right?
Right.
He says, "This is who I am. I'm a killer." Right? This is me. She is diabolical. She's a liar. She pretends to be someone she's not. She pretends to be a vicar who cares about God. Imagine that.
Right. I
I
feel
mean,
like that's the ultimate betrayal. Like, how can you subscribe to this faith and actually be like, not even just participate, be ahead of it that encourages other people to do something you don't even believe in? And it's
right.
all as a cover up for the person that you love being a murderer.
Yeah. That's pretty diabolical.
Yes. That deception to me is far worse. That outweighs Tommy's murderous rages. I have to agree. Because
I
you were
agree. Yeah.
deceptive. Like you set up a whole facade as a vicar to kind of wash and kind of cover over all the bad that Tommy's doing so that no one kind of looks at you in the town.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And think about her kids. Think about, not only were they subjected to Tommy as a parent, what about her? What about her, like, gaslighting them in a way, right? In other words, they see something in Tommy which is bad, and she'll say, "Oh, no, he's fine. He's this." So it's very confusing for a child. You don't know right from wrong. You don't know what to believe.
Well, yeah, like in last episode when she kind of was, in my opinion, she was kind of like baiting Cameron to see how he was going to react with the Fiona and the way she sat and she was kneeling down in front of him and put her hands on his feet to see if there was like any kind of a sexual thing. And she kept mentioning the Mills, like almost testing Cameron to see, have I caused this much damage? Because does he realize what his father is and how I've completely implicit and things up? Like how much he possibly know and how much is he like his father? So I do think that she's actually worse. I mean, Tommy might recruit people in and here he is doing what he's doing with John, but you've raised a child in a household that has seen things and you might not realize everything that they know, right? Because kids are very attuned to what's going on and they might, you don't think that they're hearing when they're supposed to be sleeping or that they see things because they're so little, but they grow up very much aware of these things. They just don't speak about it. And that can be very confusing to Cameron and to, Maureen. And maybe that's probably why she left. I do think Tommy did something that scared the shit out of her. And that's why she's gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so, too. Definitely. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this show and I'm enjoying talking about it.
Yes.
And the next episode is really going to be a wild ride. So, so guys, make sure you're here next Monday. We're going at the same time, 10 o'clock. We're going to discuss episode 4. And it's a really, really good episode. There's a lot going on. We're going to actually have our watch party in the Discord on Saturday night at 10 o'clock for episode 5. But we're going to show episode 4 again for those who haven't seen it.
Yes.
And so we'll go over it. And so I think we're going to end now. We're on like 2.5 hours. Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's good. I think we got everything out that we needed to for this episode. And like you said, episode 4 is going to really hit the ground running. So this season's really starting to pick up. And we got a lot of really good character development and really kind of got some insight to kind of pinpoint some of these things. We don't know the whole background, but yeah, this is really great series so far. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a shame it's only 6 episodes. I wish it was longer,
I know, we're halfway through already.
I mean, if they have a season 2, which they could have a season 2, but we don't know. It hasn't been announced, but they leave it so there could be a season 2. We'll have to see.
Excellent.
Okay, so guys, thank you for coming tonight. I see Doc left. Good night, Doc. Good night. I'm with Alice. Good night. Good night, everybody who's still here. Kelly and Mike and Dieter. And
thank you all for joining in.
Yes, and well, Scarlett left a while ago. Yeah, so thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Kimberly, I'm glad you guys all stopped by. And we will see you next week. And don't forget, the live stream is next Monday. The watch party will be Saturday.
Hope to see you guys all there. Thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.